Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Bumbleberry, and it was over. Malix was gone, and I had a new hunky boyfriend. Do they want to know if they can stay? I looked to Sam.
Hey, I... Shit, I kinda... I wanted to thank you for your energy and stuff. Well, I kinda want to stay here. Can we stay here? Please?
My heart skipped while a large red blush ran across my cheeks. The boys stared at Sam wide-eyed, but didn't dare speak out. Sam stepped back to give me my space, returning to where he was. I moved my gaze across each boy, trying to make a decision. If they left in the morning, I would never see them again, and my life could return to normal. If I did decide to let them go, my life would be less exciting. And so we're gonna keep him. I wanted him to stay. I merely smiled, staring at the man I had come to have feelings for before speaking at last. I would love it if you could all stay. The boys cheered tiredly, but nonetheless enthusiastically. I still love Matthew's face. I watched as a happy smile grew on Sam's lips. He shared my excitement. The others quickly left to finally let rest, leaving us together.
Hey, thanks for letting us stay.
You're welcome, Sam. I'm happy to have you stay here. I watched his smile brighten a bit before he cleared his throat and looked up at me with a serious face. I didn't know if it was the tiredness or my growing attachment to him, but I felt myself sway a bit on my feet. However, Sam's face made it clear that he wanted to say something else, making me forget that my bed was also calling for me.
Listen, about what happened at the warehouse.
No, it's fine. You did what you had to do. I understand. I'd accepted everything that had happened, and I knew that Sam had to do what he had to do. He was real, and he was someone I didn't want to be without, even if that meant nodding against my curiosity. Besides, I was too tired to explore that memory further. Sam nodded before holding out a hand to me.
Come on, let's get you to bed.
I nodded before Sam gently lifted me up into his arms like a bride and carried me to my room. I didn't want to leave his arms, leaning my head against his chest, but eventually I was slowly lowered to my bed and covered with the bed sheets. I still want to fix that sentence. I was still in my school clothes, too tired to strip or care. I looked to Sam, fighting a yawn, before he gently ran a hand over my hair.
Get some sleep, alright? I'll make some breakfast again for you in the morning.
Oh, I like food. Thanks for feeding me. I nodded with a tired smile before watching him slowly stand and leave my room, closing the door. A wave of happiness washed over me as I laid in bed. I made a good choice. Sure, it would be hard, but I could tell that I would be able to manage it. Help around the house, and being with the man whom I was slowly starting to fall for would be worth it. I slowly felt my exhaustion take over. I let sleep consume me as I drifted into the darkness. And then Diana was there, and Sam gives her dirty looks. Because I'm fabulous. He places his hand on my shoulder, looking at me with concern.
If she comes after you, you need to tell us, okay?
I nodded, knowing that he wanted to protect me. Sam gently took his hand from my shoulder and very gently moved a strand of hair from my face, however, making me blush and forget what I was thinking about. The sound of collective chuckles and playful snickers whispered through the air, making me blush even more. As Sam grunted in reply, the laughter stopped. I looked up to see he was glaring at his brothers, a fist forming in his hand, ready to swing at one of them. I can picture that. He and I pulled away from each other just as the sound of Naomi's car appeared. I quickly ate, waved to the boys, and left, confident that nothing was going to happen. It never does. And so she's like, "Who are you dating, Sam?" Diana stopped in her tracks.
Sam, who is...
It then dawned on her.
Ah, one of the boys. Why don't you tell me which boy is Sam?
I felt myself nod in compliance. The third. Diana giggled in reply before letting go of my face and stepping back.
Really? The brute?
Excuse me, he's very fast. I nodded once again, but this time it was partly my own decision to reply.
All right, then. Well, if it's the brute you're infatuated with, you should really rethink your romantic options.
Why? She kissed my nose, where I felt a shot of energy zap out of my body, almost making me dizzy. Rude. Alright, we'll trust him. I looked at Sam, unsure of what was going on. We're gonna get exposition! Super pumped! And so this is all the stuff with the dad and how they're all demon princes, and James was supposed to be El Jefe. Something groaned next to me, causing me to look over. We're doing better. He nodded before looking at the bed, leaning over it to stare at the blanket.
I'm such an idiot. If I was stronger, you wouldn't be like this.
Sam, it's not your fault.
No, it's my fault. It's our fault. Look at you. You're in bed again, after us using our powers again, and you're a target again because of us. We never should have come.
I quickly reached over and put my finger on his lips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear any more. Sam, it's okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let you all stay. Nothing is your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped Sam's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about this whole ordeal. Dana was desperate, and she'd hunt anyone for them. It wasn't his fault she was desperate enough to hunt them down. Sam looked at me, defeated by my hand, before he closed his eyes and let out a sigh. However, I grew curious. So, Sam, you're a noble? He opened his eyes to look at me. He didn't seem angry, but he had a coldness in his voice as he spoke.
I was a noble. I'm not a noble anymore.
Aw, not anymore.
I was the third son of the Demon Lord. My brothers and I lived together in the castle as nobility, but since James was the oldest, James became royalty and was heir to the throne. The whole situation became one gigantic, boring mess, so we all grouped together and left to come here. Once that happened, we surely lost the chance to ever get forgiveness.
Oh, I don't think so. What was it like while you were there?
Like I said, one gigantic, boring mess. Eric, Matthew, and I were as replacements in case James fucked up. Since Eric was before me and since my dad was a dickbag, I wasn't ever likely to get the throne. So I spent my days lazying about and not giving two shits about anything. Not even my mom could control me.
Unsurprising. Your mom?
Yeah, she's not like my asshole of a dad. She was actually caring and kind, but was a pushover.
Sam let out a small laugh. I could tell he was getting nostalgic. It's kind of
She
sad.
always thought I could be more than I was, but my dad definitely made sure I knew my place. In response, I became the rebel son, hanging out with the commoner demons and such just to piss my dad off. I swear, I'm surprised he didn't kill me out of shame.
That's horrible. Sam stared at me as if I had slapped him. He then sighed and ruffled my hair a bit.
Don't even worry about it. You need rest. You don't need to know about the demon world.
But I want to know more about you. Sam stared at me once again as if I had slapped him. What is with his shocked face? I couldn't tell if I was intriguing him or pissing him off. As is the case most of the time we talk to him. He let his hand that was ruffling my hair fall down the strands of my... What? He let the hand that was ruffling my hair fall down the strands of my hair. That's confusing. Stopping at my cheek to cradle it. For a strong man, Sam sure knew how to be soft. Ooh. Sam let out a sigh before unlinking his dog tag from his neck and putting it around mine.
I'm warning you, my past is boring.
Oh. Sam wrapped his fingers gingerly around the dog tag, and I watched as green mist began to surround his hand and the dog tag. The green aura wrapped around the necklace until it snaked around my head, and before I knew it, I was surrounded in a green light. When the light had subsided, I was back in the main hall of a demon castle. I looked around, feeling unable to move, but I could practically see everything as clear as I had before.
Bring that back!
My head shot towards a sudden exclamation, where I saw Sam rush into the hall with quite a large basket of bread.
No chance in hell, creepo!
Are you Aladdin? Sam then did what I only saw in ever TV shows or movies. He stomped his foot on the ground, causing a large boulder to burst from it before he kicked it towards the entrance he had come from. I could only stare as the boulder didn't demolish the door it was flying towards, but simply skidded to a stop, blocking the entrance.
That was easy.
Sam then turned into the hall, looking around as he walked towards the throne. He took a small roll of bread and stuffed it into his mouth, only able to cover half of it as he stared at the seat. I was surprised. Why did Sam steal bread? Why would he steal bread? He was a rebel, yes, but he was a noble. He wouldn't get in trouble for taking food, but he had a basket of bread? A basket of bread. Sam chewed and swallowed the
Fucking
bread.
asshole piece of shit parent.
At least you have your folks.
What does that mean? Another demon stepped out behind a pillar towards Sam. He smirked and tossed him out. And tossed him the basket of
Think
bread.
that's enough for you and your brother?
More than enough. This means a lot, man.
Okay, I don't know why, but does the guy on the left remind you of Eric Matthews for some reason? Like in the face? The hair? No, not at all. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, Eric Matthews is from Boy Meets World, in case you didn't actually watch that show. I don't know who this guy is, and why does he have wings? I want wings.
Don't mention it, Gaku.
Gaku smiled and held out a hand to Sam, who took it and shook it.
We owe you for this.
You don't owe me jack shit. Now get going before you get caught.
Gaku nodded. However, Gaku quickly got out a dog tag from his trench coat and held it out for Sam. Sam stared before reaching out and taking it.
What is this?
His face.
A gift. A human world trinket. I know you and your brothers have been interested in it. Maybe this might bring you closer to it.
Thanks, man. Sam stared before looking down at the gift. It was glimmering silver, almost entrancing Sam's gaze. As Sam looked back up, Gaku lifted off the ground and flew out an open window into the almost sickly purple sky.
The human world.
Sam looked back down at the trinket before wrapping it with green magic.
Like I can get any closer.
Sam tossed the trinket into the air, letting it vanish into an unknown oblivion. I smiled a bit at the sight, knowing the future of that point. What surprised me was a green orb slowly floating towards Sam, wrapped in a purple-like aura. Sam didn't even turn around, but spoke as if he knew.
What do you want, Mom?
Mom! Orbs are his mama. It simply floated in place as Sam turned to it with an almost angry glare.
Yes, I stole that bread and gave it to the commoner, all right? Don't judge me.
I will judge all I want, young man. Sorry if I'm, weird voice-wise. I'm so tired. I have to re-record part of this, and so I'm just like, rawr! Anyway, once again, Sam was not responded to, at least not from what I heard. Sam clicked his teeth and crossed his arms, peeved.
Yeah, whatever.
The orb then floated over to Sam and lightly brushed his cheek before flying off, disappearing into the air. Sam sighed, rolling his shoulders.
I need to get out of here.
He looked like he had a lot in his mind, but his closed mouth wouldn't let him express it. However, none could question his irritation. Hi. Eventually, Sam stopped the magic, taking his dog tag off of me and holding it in his hands before looking to me.
What did I tell you? Boring.
You helped that demon get food.
I was a rebel breaking rules. We're not supposed to care for common demons. We're supposed to let them die out if they don't have the ability to take care of themselves.
Sam gritted his teeth and let out an aggravated sigh. Seems kind of hardcore.
Whatever. I'm not there anymore. I'm here.
Sam.
Look, I'm sorry.
For what? I stared, my mind going blank. What was he apologizing for? Sam stared down at the blankets again.
You've done a lot for me and my brothers. Sheltering us, letting us continue to live here. It may not seem like much, but for us, it means everything. Especially after everything that's happened to you with that hellspawn Malix and Diana being crazy. I don't think we'll ever be able to repay you for what you've done.
I watched in speechless silence as Sam lifted his head, his eyes full of almost hopelessness.
Thank you.
Sam lowered his head and gently, almost as if I was fragile, placed his hand over mine. I couldn't help but feel my heart squeeze within my chest at the sight. He truly cared. Sam let out a small sigh before looking to me, removing his hand from mine.
Now get some sleep. You still need rest. We'll wake you up when dinner is done.
Sam gently pressed me back down to the bed, resolved in what had happened. Let's steal a smooch. Bum, bum. I couldn't let him leave without doing something. I quickly pulled Sam down to me, lifted my head, and gently kissed him, softly laying a hand on his cheek to keep his face close. Sam stared in deep surprise before hesitantly kissing me back, caressing my cheek and slightly melting at the touch of our lips. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away with a smile. He gently licked his lips, making me go red in the face at the simple gesture. He let out a satisfied sigh before running a hand through my hair.
Sleep, doofus.
Sorry, that's just kind of cute. It kind of, like, my boyfriend wouldn't call me a doofus, but it kind of reminds me of, he'd be like, go to sleep. I won't tell you what his pet name is for me, but, and with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per his request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress. No, Diana. Oh. Okay, I know you're here. Where are you? I could feel myself growl. Ooh, and we're angry.
What the fuck do you want?
Yeah. All right, let's listen. My heart stopped. Diana was with Sam. My mind flew into slow motion, playing fake images of Diana trying to seduce Sam in my head to further fan the angry flame inside of me. Let's go punch her in the nose, but she'll probably kill us if we do. So let's go be, observant and, best figure out how to take advantage of the situation. I peeked inside to see Sam by the foot of the stairs with Diana sitting on the railing looking to him.
My, such a brute. Didn't your mother teach you how to treat a woman?
She isn't here, and frankly, you shouldn't be either.
I'm hurt. Wounded, truly.
Like I care, you crazy bitch.
Pity. And here I thought I was going to offer you the chance to become something better than just a simple incubus.
What was Diana going on about? More than just an incubus? She was insane.
Like you got anything I care about.
How about becoming the next Demon Lord?
I froze. What did she mean, becoming the next Demon Lord? The boys weren't in the demon world anymore. They had no claim to the throne anymore. Secretly they do. Sam stared at Diana, which made me worried.
You're bluffing.
I mean, he looks grumpy.
Well, currently, I'm the contracted bride to the heir to the throne. Since the throne is open, it's available to any son of the Demon Lord's line. Think about it. You'll gain the throne, the land, and a bride to continue your lineage with. Doesn't that sound like a perfect life for an incubus like you?
I could feel myself gripping my fist tightly in anger. How dare this girl try to convince Sam to return to the demon world? He ran away from it. He didn't have to go back. He shouldn't go back. I concur. My mind began to wander, imagining him saying yes. He would leave and the brothers would follow to bring him back. They'd be trapped because Diana would make sure they could never leave. Sam would be the new Demon Lord and Diana would be his queen.
You must be crazier than I thought.
What?
I felt surprise run down my body again. Did I hear Sam correctly? He denied her?
You dare deny!
Ooh, someone got grumpy. All of a sudden, Sam's body disappeared as well as Diana's. I blinked and saw Sam grip Diana by the neck, pinning her body to the wall near the dining room archway. Her feet couldn't even touch the floor, and I felt myself unconsciously rub my neck at the sight.
For once in your life, shut your fucking mouth!
I feel like you've only met her, once. Well, twice, I guess now. I could see Sam's muscles tense and flex, holding
You do
Diana.
not scare me. I could bring you to your knees and make you beg to return with me on a chain leash.
Ew.
Then do it! I want to see you try to chain me!
Sam glared at Diana, and she almost stared in fear at him. I expected her to actually do it. However, after a small moment, Sam smirked.
Called it.
Sam then released Diana, letting her body fall to the floor. Diana gripped her neck, coughing for air as Sam stepped back, glaring at her.
You're out of power. You've been running without recharging and now you're on your last life.
Shut up!
I don't know why she wouldn't just, make out with me. Diana glared and stood up, flipping her hair back to its almost
What's
unnaturally
stopping me
sexy.
from taking your little human's energy?
You go anywhere near her again and I will rip you apart.
The human girl? You must be joking. A human like her can't possibly provide you what you need. She is a human. You're a demon.
I felt the urge to storm in and shut her mouth. It would give away my position, but I was growing extremely tired of Diana. Let's go show her what's going on. I decided to be assertive and quickly stepped into the room, rushing down the steps to be in front of Sam. Diana and Sam looked at me in surprise as I glared daggers at Diana. Get out.
Well, well, little human. You're awfully nosy in business that doesn't concern you.
It does concern me.
Does it? I don't think a human would understand the importance of this affair.
Sam is just like so relaxed. You're asking him to leave to be someone he doesn't want to be. That's not going to happen.
Oh? And what makes you so sure about that?
I love him. His face. She stared in shock at my exclamation. Was it not what she expected? I didn't care what she expected. I wasn't going to lose the man I'd grown to love.
You love him?
Yes, I love him. Diana's lips twitched, their edges curling into an amused smirk as she stared at me.
So what? A human's love isn't enough to understand the situation. A demon can never reciprocate human feeling.
Lies! To both of us' surprise, however, Sam stepped forward and put an arm around me, pulling me close to his body.
I love her.
Oh, I saw the confidence Diana had shatter in her eyes as she stared at Sam and his words. I could see the struggle in her face to try and find some weakness in Sam. In me.
A demon love a human? Impossible.
Are you deaf? I said I love her. You don't have the brains to understand what love is. It's not just a human emotion. Demons like us can feel it too. You just have your head so far up your ass that you refuse to see it. Just like how you refuse to see that you've lost.
Diana took a step back, physically feeling the sting of Sam's words in her chest. She had lost. I could see it in her eyes. Diana's eyes grew dull as she glared at me and Sam. It seemed almost uncharacteristic of her, yet it was something I wasn't surprised to see come
Very
from her
well.
face.
Fine. Valet.
Oh, bye, Diana. I'm sorry. She looks very upset. I understand why. Sam's pretty. Sam and I were then left alone, left with the silence of the room. I finally let out the air I was unconsciously holding in my chest, relaxing from the ordeal. Sam stepped to me and held me gently, surprising me.
You all right?
Oh. I nodded in response, unable to speak so immediately after being surprised. Sam let out a sigh, relaxing in the embrace. I gently placed my hands around him, returning the embrace slightly. I could hear his heartbeat. He held me close in his arms, and I felt safe beyond words. Oh, he looks so cute. Thank you for defending me.
There's no way I'd let her hurt the one I love.
This one goes out to the one I love. I looked up at Sam, surprised at what he said. Sam blushed, moving a strand of my hair from my face to look down at me.
I'm an asshole, yeah. Do I deserve to like you? No. I don't deserve to be holding you now, but...
Yes?
I love you, okay? I love you.
Oh, I stared wide-eyed, blushing like a maniac. Was this real? No way. This couldn't be real. Was Sam confessing his love to me? Sam gently caressed my cheeks, staring into my eyes with a loving, almost hopeful expression. The warmth of his hand invited me to nuzzle into it, and I closed my eyes. This wasn't a dream. My heart was pounding to the point where I was sure Sam could hear it. Sam gently leaned in, closing his eyes. He stopped, however, remaining just a mere torturous inch away from my lips. He wanted me to show my feelings for him. He had left himself open for me to kiss him or leave him empty. The power I had was unbelievable. Let's kiss him. Let's get some smooches. I loved him and wanted to give him exactly what he wanted. I gently leaned in, letting my lips finally touch his gingerly. Sam let out an almost surprised gasp against my lips before wrapping both of his arms around my waist, pulling me close to him. I moved my arms up and grasped around his neck, feeling the kiss between us deepen to a heated height. My chest was pounding, making me feel and see fireworks in my mind. Sam was everything I desired. He was the man I wanted, demon or not. It was all so supernatural. Maybe it was the sense of magic I was thrown into, or maybe it was Cupid playing with my heart. Either way, I found myself melting at the thought of him being with me. I found myself combing my fingers through Sam's hair, making the man holding me softly tremble at my touch. He gently nibbled on my lower lip, asking me to deepen the kiss between us even further. I easily teased him before finally opening up my mouth slightly for him. His tongue gently danced with mine as one of his hands slid up my back and cradled my head. He gently leaned my body back, making me cling to him as the heat of our kiss rose higher and higher. Gently, though, Sam slowed the kiss down and pulled away, staring down at me. His eyes burned for me, wanting me to melt and buckle in his arms. I could feel myself melt already. Sam opened his mouth to speak, but a very small blush ran along his cheeks. He was reduced to shy silence.
I stared as he tried to find the words to say in my eyes. I knew exactly what he wanted. He didn't need energy, though, right?
Are you?
No,
I stared wide-eyed, feeling the blush on my cheeks grow. He wanted me. I was stunned. Was I that appealing to him? Sam gently nuzzled my forehead, losing the blush and finally being able to speak.
If you don't want to, we don't have to. I mean, it's up to you.
I could feel my mind go numb and purr at the idea. I wasn't experienced, but I think we're gonna say yes. Let's be seduced. It made the most sense to tell him yes. Sam quickly wrapped his arms around me, and all of a sudden I felt wind breeze past me. Oh. Sam was above me. He was red in the face, but he had a look of determination. I stared as Sam quickly realized what he was doing. He sat up, growing even more red in the face. I giggled before sitting up and caressing his cheek with a knowing smile. I gently guided his head to me, kissing him slowly and bringing him back into the mood. It was okay to be nervous. We'd work on this together. Sam let his vest slide down his arms and tossed it to the side before cradling my head in his hands and kissing me deeply. I felt heat rise in my body, making me undo the tie underneath my collar and release the buttons on my own shirt. Quickly, I removed my shirt and vest, making Sam stop kissing me and stare in slight surprise. I wasn't a bra, but still, I was fabulous. My shy side was beginning to fester in my mind. Did I really want this? To undress before a demon? No, this was the man I loved, and yet I felt my innocence drape over me in shame. As if he knew, Sam caressed my cheek, smiling before removing his shirt again. He moved me into his arms, constantly looking to make sure I was okay. It warmed my heart to see him being concerned, but I knew that our heat needed to be fulfilled. Oh, baby, baby. The heat. Sam pulled me close, knowing I was still shy, and began to kiss my lips over and over. Each kiss was his promise to keep me safe, keep me comfortable, and love me. I kept my arms wrapped around Sam, taking each kiss he gave and giving him my own kisses in return. We talk about top newness again. I could slightly feel a shiver of his hands. Was I his first? He wasn't going to tell me. He wanted me to enjoy the moment. As he laid me down and knelt over me, Sam smiled and finally embraced me as we both desired. The pleasure between us would be a lot. The pleasure between us would be heavenly, and we'd go through it together. I closed my eyes and gave myself to him. My body, my mind, and my soul all belonged to him. His kisses and fingers over my skin would forever engrave themselves into my memory as our passion rose through incredible heights. Our breaths and moans to each other equally sounded. We both kept moving, feeling, loving every inch of our bodies. I nuzzled my head under Sam's chin as he held me close.
I love you.
I love you too. Just to hear those words come from Sam's mouth made me very happy. I could feel both of us sink into a peaceful slumber together. It was the best sleep I'd had in days. I had love and I had my happiness. My life was perfect. When I opened my eyes, I found myself staring into Sam's bare chest. His sleeping face made me giggle, but the reality of the situation made my eyes flutter. My R's flutter. What am I reading? His warm embrace made me feel safe. I couldn't help but snuggle into his chest further. He held me even tighter. I didn't want to move, but my core suddenly tightened and made me sit up without waking the man next to me. And then Diana's going to be a jerk and try to get us to do stuff ridiculous. I will not. The rest of the story can kind of be passed over. Sam loved me and I loved him. And a demon was in love with a human like me. The other boys knew that Sam was in my hands. They didn't care that I was his love of his life. And I had to promise to love him forever. Oh, and I'm still not the CEO. Are you serious? That's fine. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. I didn't want the stupid job anyway. Okay? That's fine. Someone tell me how to become the CEO. I really want to be the CEO. One afternoon, a good couple of years after, what is happening? All right, so I'm wandering around the house. I was sitting in the hallway near my bedroom.
Jeez, how the hell did I end up here?
I stopped at the sound of Sam's voice. It sounded distant. He was clear as day. I looked around to land my sights on an open window. He must have been on the roof again. I tiptoed over and listened.
It's been years and I still can't believe I'm here. To think I wanted to leave in the first place. I'm such an idiot.
I know. I smiled. I quickly remembered when we had first met. He was my first kiss, after all.
And I, of course, had the worst first impression ever. Why the hell did I do that?
He was thinking of the kiss, too. It was adorable to hear him mentally slapping himself.
Meh. I guess I can't take back the past. I can only make sure she gets what she deserves from now on.
That's right. I didn't understand. He already gave me everything he wanted.
All right, Sam? No more fuck-ups. I'll call up James and learn how to be a proper man. I need to be strong enough to support her no matter what comes our way.
I could not believe what I was hearing. Sam was willing to change for me? I felt both honored and guilty. I didn't want him to change. I loved him. I quickly went to the window and stepped up to grab the rooftop. Thank God I had upper body strength. My sudden hand placements scared Sam.
What the?
Help me up, Sam. Sam looked down at me in surprise before grabbing my arms and lifting me up to the roof. However, I landed once again in his lap with his arms around me.
What the hell are you doing? And how long were you there?
Long enough to hear everything. Sam, I don't want you to change. He stared, looking at lost at my words, as I caressed his cheek with a smile. It was true, though. He had faults, sure, but who didn't? Sam gently moved his hand and buried his face into my palm, closing his eyes and absorbing what I had seen. He gently opened his eyes, partially staring past my hand.
You do realize that I'm a brute, right? That was my nickname in the Abyssal Plains. I'm a brute. A monster. I'm not what someone can really want.
Liar. Sam. He finally looked to me, a look of hopelessness in his eyes. You're what I want. You're not a brute, and you're not a monster. I gently guided Sam's face down with my hand and kissed him softly, reminding him of my touch and reaffirming him of my words. He stared at me as if his greatest wish had come true. I fought back a giggle at the sight. Sam gently pulled me to him, hugging me to his chest. I nuzzled into him.
You've chained the monster deep inside.
I know that song. You know that song? Oh.
You've chained the monster deep inside this sick and sinful body of mine.
I cannot believe it. You know the song? Sam chuckled softly, the sound of his laughter sending happy waves down my spine. He smiled down at me and kissed the top of my head.
It's your ringtone, doofus. I've practically memorized it.
I smiled and sat up and looking at Sam. It was adorable to see him like this. I then felt bold and straightened up.
Hey, what are you...
Oh! I simply smiled before kissing Sam's forehead and then gently over his eyelids. So I'm towering over you, sir. Embrace it. Embrace your weakness. I love you, Sam. Sam held me.
I love you too.
I don't want to make this up if this was indeed a dream. There were no words that could describe the emotions within me. I had gained the heart of a demon, and he loved me forever. Acceptance? Sam's acceptance? Where is your undying love for me, sir? Where is it? Anyway, that was Sam's ending. He accepted me, and he memorized my ringtone as a token of his eternal love. And then here are the Galleria. And so there he is for our first kiss. Kiss me, woman. Rooftop love. And then, what is that? I guess that's him spitting his stuff out. And that's like the forehead kiss and sexy time. But let me know what you think. Thanks for bearing with me in this rather unusual episode, and I'm sorry for all the editing weirdness. Had to be done. It had to be done. It's a long story, so I apologize if it's a little weirder than usual. But I still love this game, and we have one more to go. Okay, so we've got one more seduction on the list, and then probably like a bonus footage episode, and then I'm going to move on to my next dating sim, but I'm also going to play like light and stuff in between, so stay sweet, my friends. I hope you have a wonderful weekend or a weekday, whatever you're watching this on, and I will see you later.